ask the first speaker, who is Joanne Borden, who will be celebrating her birthday on December 9th.
6th.
Do you think I forgot? It's the 6th or 9th? Which one is it? 6? Joanne, is it 6 or 9?
Joanne, 6 or 9?
6? Okay.
The
Okay,
6th,
Joanne.
and you only have today and next month. That's all you have to make it right. Anyhow, they started the thing, so I better start talking.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Joanne.
Republican and conservative leadership are missing a very serious situation regarding their transgender constituents. The very lives of transgender men and women are at stake. Like most transgender people, I lived with the woman inside me for as long as I can remember. Somehow, I was able to control my womanhood better than others, but not all the time and forever. Most transgender people have a strong need to express the woman or man inside them, and just as strong a commitment to protect their loved ones from the present consequences of transgenderism. This conflict leads to a state of depression, which too often results in suicide. Youngsters are driven to suicide by classmate bullying. 40% of transgender people, compared to 1.6% of the general public, attempt suicide, and too many succeed. This does not happen in a vacuum. An important cause is that we are delegitimizing and dehumanizing by being excluded from the human rights law. Legal equality has been proven to be the first step to correcting this. Even though I was able to keep the woman inside me a secret for about 80 years, I wanted to get rid of her all that time, but I could not get rid of her. She was always there, insisting to be expressed. Your inclusion of us in the human rights law will allow us to be human in the eyes of others. Equality in law is the first step toward correcting our unjust position. The beatings and the murders we endure. The overwhelming majority of your constituents agree with giving us equality under the law. The majority of the country already extends equality with no ill effects. It is important that you listen to the scientists and medical scientists that say we are born transgender. Your refusal to include us in the human rights law perpetuates our illegitimacy and is an underlying cause of the loss of life to suicide and murder. It's an important life-saving step that you pass the proposed transgender human rights law. Thank you for listening. And Norma, you have very few chances to write yourself.
Okay, Joanne.
I may give the legislators a Christmas present by not appearing here and screaming at them next month.
You always act like a lady.
Pardon me?
You always act like a lady, so you never scream at us. All right? You're well prepared and make a lot of sense. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the very best to you, and happy birthday. Pete Gaffney.
Good afternoon, and hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. My name is Pete Gaffney. I reside in Westbury, Carl Place School District. And what I just want to say is congratulations to all the recent legislative election winners and to the new county executive on her historic victory. One thing though, if the new county executive truly wants inclusion in all county residents, suggests that she include a 36-member in her transition team, one of the town of North Hempstead's council members. My other topic that I want to talk about is, I've been here attended many of the Nassau County legislative meetings. In the open comments, I continue to ask for additional community policing. At the end of my 3 minutes, the entire legislature says thank you, and to date, we really haven't done anything yet. Drivers today, they're out of control, all shapes and all sizes, young, old, men and women. It just seems like they all have a speed racer, me first mentality. Drivers are ignoring the rules of the road. Excessive speeding, 10, 20 miles or more over the speed limit. They're not stopping at stop signs, making illegal U-turns on major roadways, cut through corner stores to beat a red light ahead, not to mention talking and texting on cell phones while driving, etc. Ironically, people do not realize that the timing of the traffic lights are adjusted to the posted speed limits. So the person who drives at an excessive speed limit is going to reach the same point as the person who's just normally following the rules of the road. And pedestrians, they're just as bad. You know, I understand that the county finances are not in the best shape, but they got to find a way how to pay for more additional community policing. And by having community policemen and policewomen writing summonses and speed camera fines, it should change the majority of the public's behavior and increase the county's coffers. Once the public understands that if the law is broken, there will be consequences. Besides, when police are visible in the community, statistics and history prove that crime is prevented and it goes way down within that community. Also, residents, they'll feel secure knowing that cops are nearby. I'm just really tired every day about reading or seeing horrific pictures in the newspapers of car crashes where somebody's loved one dies, and that's including pedestrians. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Jack McCloy?
Dear members of the legislature, thank you very much for allowing me to address you today and throughout this past year. I want to congratulate those of you who are victorious in retaining your seats, and those who are not, I want to wish you well on your new phase of life, especially Ms. Gonzalez. And I wanted to just mention quickly that this coming year, I believe, will be a year that maybe we could see a little bit of additional unity, especially with some of the issues that I've mentioned, with like assessment reform, wrong-way driving prevention, and red light camera timing that can be changed to benefit both the drivers and make our roads safer. And I wanted to just quickly say that I'm not going to mention anything in specific about any of those, but you've heard me mention thoughts in the past. Just wanted to wish you all well, and especially my fellow Waldenite, Laura Curran.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McCloy. Johnny Mora?
Good afternoon. My name is Johnny Mora. I am Program Coordinator for the National Black Leadership Commission on AIDS. And BLACA's mission is to educate, empower, and mobilize communities of color in the fight of HIV/AIDS and other health disparities among the most underprivileged communities. I'm here to invite you in recognition of World AIDS Day, December 1st. Several organizations have given you some of the flyers, and anyone who would like to have a flyer, please see me. December 1st, we are having a street blitz along with other organizations at 250 Fulton Avenue, Hempstead, New York. Free HIV testing, education, prevention, and so forth. I'd like to also let you know that HIV is still on in our communities. There's an opiate epidemic. What do they do with the opiate epidemic? Through injection? Sharing needles and so on is a way of transmission for HIV, hepatitis C, and so forth. So please help us to educate the community to prevent more illness. Yes, the new generation, they're saying that is from the 90s, an illness from the 90s. I'm still educating the youth, and when we do a pro and post test on the way of transmissions, some youth still think that it's through saliva or through some other sources, but last time I was in a college, and a college student told me that it's a gay disease and it's acquired through mosquito bites. Please allow us to go into school and educate the youth to prevent this illness. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Domenica Califano?
Hello, everyone. Everyone knows me. Happy Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, I'm here. Besides talking about Operation and VIP Splash, the money that they stole from taxpayers that have been fighting out, ever since I've been speaking out, I've been nothing but harassed by Anthony D. Exposito, by the 4th Precinct. They have came to my home by one of their individuals, have arrested my niece saying that she falsified documents, a 14-year-old girl, bruised her arms, 6 detectives removed her from school. All charges against my niece were dropped. Unfortunately, they came to my house, knowing that I resigned there. They said that they saw a suspect. At gunpoint, the sergeant pulled out a gun on my family, on my younger brother that's 43 years old, on my 14-year-old niece and an 8-year-old nephew, that he ended up fainting. Got so scared that he's petrified. The 4th Precinct is totally corrupted. My family is in fear. I took down 4 heroin dealers that I worked with narcotics. Unfortunately, the narcotic agent left 52 bags of heroin by the front door of this individual with the drug dealer's phone. I will never ever help trying to clean up our streets of Nassau County. My family's in fear. One of the drug dealers, guy's name is Dana Mahan, has been going around my house, has threatened me, bricks through my office windows, signs all throughout Oceanside, Island Park, Rockwell Center. The 4th Precinct detectives are well aware of it. There was an order of protection against them. Nassau County DA Singers has dropped the order of protection. This is a disgrace. As a taxpayer, as a citizen here in Nassau County, has to be treated by the 4th Precinct. I've been speaking out at the Town of Hempstead meetings. I've been speaking out here. I cannot believe the corruption in Nassau County, how dirty they are. The Commissioner Ryder is well aware of it. I sat down with them for 3.5 hours. I do not know where else to go. As I said, I was arrested for a misdemeanor, I believe it was, falsifying a police document. I was all over the news. My address was put out there. As they well aware that I work with narcotics, I have their text messages, videotapes of them. This past Saturday, I had 3 detectives, not just one, 3 detectives coming to my house, expecting me to give them my cell phone and telling me that I was going to be under arrest, which I have this on videotape again. There was no reason to. I'm not sure where else to go to or where else to speak out about. But I have an entire family petrified. I have a 14-year-old niece. Unfortunately, her father is an addict, and he was busted through the drug ring. But I am thankful that my brother is still alive today. And I got heroin dealers off the street, not realizing I risked my life to get the drug dealers away from my brother and other young kids in our neighborhood. I thought I did a good thing, and I think I did the biggest mistake of my life, that I'm being terrorized by the 4th Precinct cops. The cops have told me that they hate my brothers and they should die. I don't think this is appropriate. I have videotapes, surveillance tapes on them. I have statements in the last 2 months. I have over 8 complaints or more at the 4th Precinct that they remove. There is signs throughout Oceanside and the detectives do nothing about it. There is surveillance cameras in shopping centers that they're able to take and they're not doing it. I don't think this is fair. I brought it to everyone's attention to let them know. I'm not sure what's going to ever happen to my family from this, but I did try to help to clean up our streets from heroin dealers, and it was a horrible, horrible thing I did. I spoke out about corruption, about Operation VIP Splash, and I got nothing but grief from it, from everybody. $14.5 million contract that's under federal investigation. I have them trashing my name all over Facebook. I don't think it's appropriate. I came to the county to see if there is anyone that can sit down and try to speak and try to help us.
Okay. Ms. Califano, would you please wrap up?
You got it. That's how it always is here. It's always wrap up. Corruption just continues in Nassau County.
There are people who are listening, Ms. Califano. Pearl Jacobs.
So, good afternoon, all. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I congratulate all the legislators who were re-elected to represent and serve their constituents. A special congratulations to you, County Executive-elect Curran. Congratulations.
Thank you, Pearl.
Your victory exemplifies the power of the people. You promise to bring real change and transformation to a county government that has been plagued by political patronage, nepotism, and cronyism. A county government where politicians place their own ambitions ahead of their constituents. A county government that only represents the affluent and politically connected. A county government that systematically and strategically excludes minority communities from Governor Cuomo's vision of a vibrant and sustainable Long Island. A county government that encroaches upon another community's boundaries and creates a fictitious designation, all in the name of greed, or as we call it now, New Age colonialism. I could go on, but we all saw the movie. I wish you great success in this most challenging endeavor. I am confident that you will work hard and remain humble to restore confidence back to the hard-working tax-paying residents of Nassau County. Again, congratulations. And thank you so much, Legislator Curran, for coming to our meetings 3 times in the last 6 months. You were there in the community, you got to meet and greet the residents of Uniondale, and your message was embraced. Thank you. Legislator Abrahams, congratulations on your re-election. And would you provide an update on the Uniondale Streetscaping Project, B 1116?
I will say this, Pearl, as you well know, the calendaring of that contract, which we have pushed for on our side and I have pushed for because it would enhance the Uniondale Avenue area, is in the hands of the presiding officer, which I'm sure, as you know.
Yes, but I have to ask.
I understand.
Yeah. Okay. As stated, Legislator Abrahams, in a congratulatory letter that we sent to you from Heidi on behalf of the Nostrand Garden Civic Association, we look forward to working with you to improve the quality of life in Uniondale, to getting the Uniondale Avenue Streetscaping Project started, and to give the residential areas of Uniondale equal, if not greater, attention to that given to the Nassau Hub. After all, Uniondale Avenue is the gateway to the hub. Any other look than one of uniformity between the south and north sides of Hempstead Turnpike would cast a disparaging eye on Nassau County government. Thank you.
Thank you.
Karen Reed.
Good afternoon, Presiding Officer Gonsalves, the Nassau County Legislature. My name is Karen Reed, and I'm a resident of the Baldwin community and a member of the Baldwin School Board. 2 years ago, our county legislator, Laura Curran, presented Baldwin District with an opportunity to apply for a CPG so we could replace our non-repairable electronic sign that sits on the corner of Ethel T. Kloberg and Grand Avenue. It's right outside the high school. It's seen by a lot of people who pass up and down Grand daily. As in many communities, our electronic sign is one of the integral ways in which we communicate with our entire community, the events that are taking place in our school, as well as other community events, such as meeting times of other community groups. The Baldwin School District's business office completed the grant project, I believe in August and September. We are also working in conjunction with Senator Kaminsky, also to obtain funds through the state legislature. We cannot complete our application until it's voted upon here. I have been in contact with Legislator Curran's office, Legislator Abraham's office, following up on this project. We have many community members asking about what's going on with the sign, and those who have reached out to me, I've explain to them that we have gone through the process. I've been told that at this point, it has to go through committee, and then it can be brought before the presiding officer for vote. So I'm here to respectfully ask that it could be put through committee in December with the hopes of getting a vote in general legislation in December 11th. We really could use the help. Thank you.
Welcome, Heidi. Ms. Meredith, I did see you. Okay. You have several items that you want to address. Would you want to address them all now or wait till they come on the calendar?
I'll just do an overview now for my 3 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer Gonzalez. Happy post-Thanksgiving, pre-holiday. I'm not as generous as Joanne. God willing, I will be back in December, even though it is also the month of my birth, because I celebrate the whole month, so I figure one of those days I might as well torture all of you. As I started my journey here before this body with veterans, I will continue with that, but first of all, I have to do my own sidebar, and since I'm in my own 3 minutes, I choose to do that. To congratulate all those that are coming in and thank all those who have served. Again, unlike Joanne, I probably have yelled at folks across this podium only when I was yelled at, so I only give what I get. But I definitely want to congratulate my legislator and incoming county executive-elect Laura Kern, and thank her for the work that she did in representing her community, and as was evidenced by her residents being here to support her throughout that process. But once again, I'm here because of the dearth of program support and assistance for our beleaguered veterans in Nassau County and Long Island. Again, I always read the paper in general. I guess that's my journalism background, but I'm always amazed at looking at the veteran section when I see pretty much the same types of meetings, majority of which are in Suffolk County. And I just noticed that, you know, the photo op earlier with folks doing the toys and collections and everybody's all giving and happy during this holiday season, but I don't see many of you when it comes down to those day-to-day activities that are impacting our veterans, the homelessness, the hunger, the disillusionment, the depression, the fact that we still have veterans that are dying in their homes as we speak, or dying on the streets, or dying in the prison that we pay these well-funded consultants. So my hope as we go into 2018 with some new faces, and unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, if folks change, some old ones, that we do take on a new, less partisanship mentality and focus on some of these issues and really bring some real solutions. Not a lot of rhetoric, not a lot of talking, you know, maybe less parades, but I will say I did have the opportunity to participate in the Veterans Day Parade in New York City, and to see the fresh faces of our military and to give them assurances that at least from my part, that I would try to do the best that I can to make sure that when they do come home, that they have a real homecoming after the parade and the pancake breakfast is over. And the last thing I want to say, because I want to try to be timely, which will be a rare feat for me. Once again, if we can do something about the alleged visitors parking that more county employees seem to park in, it would be appreciated. Thank you.
Heidi, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Heidi Saft. Most of you up there know me, but for those who don't in the audience, I'm the first vice president of the Nostrand Garden Civic Association in Uniondale and a member of the Greater Uniondale Area Action Coalition. I'm here, well, first of all, congratulations to all those who are going to be representing us, either newly or again. And as Pearl, our president, said, it was great to see Laura Kern at our meetings and also legislator Abrahams. We have about 40 to 80 people who attend our monthly meetings. And personally, the reason I'm involved is because I care about the quality of life in Uniondale, and it needs a lot of help. So presiding officer, I understand that you're going to be moving on to greener pastures or other things or whatever you should choose to do in your life ahead. What I'm asking you is this. There's one more full meeting of the legislature. The date is December 18th. I have been coming here asking you to please put the Uniondale streetscaping project on the agenda. That's B11-16. You have one more opportunity to do that. Outside of this building, there is a bench that the current supervisor of Nassau County had erected to show respect and honor for our civic group's previous president, Melvin Harris Jr., and his wife Patty is here. Stand up, Patty. For him to be honored in such a way that there is a bench permanently installed here is an indication that we all need to reflect and ponder about situations such as racism, exclusion, respect, treating each other the right way. I'm asking you, Presiding Officer Gonzalez, to please put the streetscaping project on the agenda. What that will indicate to me is that you've had a seat on that bench for a short time and reflected on what really the right thing to do is. Our community has not really been given much attention. Pearl talks about the reasons why. She's a lot better at it than I am. But now is your golden opportunity, and then you can move on to your greener pastures. Thank you.
Tom, I believe it's Tom. I think it's you, right? Joanne, next to you. Did you put in this list?
Dan, I put in this.
Come on.
Dan.
Oh,
Me. Okay.
You
Okay.
didn't use a dark enough pencil. Oh, I see it, okay.
Okay, excellent.
So say it for the record, please.
Okay, I'm Dan Dolbroff. I'm here. I'm representing Joanne Borden and LITAC. I wanted to congratulate County Executive-elect Laura Curran on her win, and I wanted to thank my legislator, Ani Drucker, for coming to the T-Door last week. He gave a fantastic speech. If you haven't checked it out yet, you should, all of you. And I'm hoping that before you leave in December that you will put add gender identity to the Human Rights Charter. You still have an opportunity to do that, and it will be great for your legacy. Besides, that's the right thing to do, so I hope it's something you'll consider, and I hope County Executive-elect Carmen, that once you're County Executive, you'll continue your strong advocacy for the transgender community, and hopefully you and Minority Leader Abrams and whoever the presiding officer will be able to sit down at some time and be able to agree that adding gender identity to their county charter, human rights, would be something that you'll do, and I hope that will happen. Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome, Dan. Okay, that ends public comment. There are no other slips before us, and so we can now move on to the calendar for today. And lo and behold, there is only one item that's